Hello everyone, Austin here with the Limestone Library. I hope you're all staying busy and staying safe. I've missed seeing you all at our chess club twice a month, and I hope you guys have been finding things to do, and if you haven't, then I wanted to start just a short video series, uh, and in the first video, I want to highlight some of the really great chess resources that are available to us online. The first resource is leechess.org, and the mission statement for this website is free chess all the time. It'll be free forever with no ads. And it sounds too good to be true, but it really is just a wonderful website. The other one that I want to talk about is chess.com, and we'll get to that in a second, but I want to do a quick highlight of Leechess and all that they have to offer. When you get to the site, it'll look something like this. It'll look a little bit different. I'll show you what it'll look like to a new user in a little bit here, but it's a great website for playing chess online and learning how to play chess online. So if you don't know how to play chess, it's a very easy game to learn and very difficult to master. So you can start by highlighting the Learn tab up here at the top and going right on down at the first link here at Chess Basics. And when you click on Chess Basics, you're going to see something like this. And it starts you off really where any good tutorial will start you off. It starts you off at the basics of how all of the pieces move. Now, to give you just a little bit of an idea, if you don't know anything about chess at all, even anything from pop culture or movies or anything like that, it's similar to checkers. It's a board game where you and your opponent both have pieces, and you take turns moving one piece at a time. The object of the game is for you to get your opponent's king, and your opponent will be trying to get your king the whole time as well. And once a king falls, the other player wins. So these are really great to play through, and I'll click on this one because the sound is kind of loud. So I'm not sure how that'll mesh with my voice, but it'll start you off with just one piece, and then it'll show you exactly how the piece moves, and it's your job to click the piece and to go through and capture each one of the stars as quickly as you can. I say as quickly as you can because I think in the future ones they will have you do multiple moves to do this, and it's not super easy to figure out how to do it in the least amount of moves, so it provides a good foundation for learning how all the pieces move, and it'll take you through every single piece. Once you get through this, the fundamentals are important as well, things like capturing pieces. If you're able to capture more of your opponent's pieces than your opponent is able to capture of yours, then it's going to be a lot easier to get to their king. Protecting pieces, combat, these things all very important. And then some of the intermediate ones, this is, don't gloss over this as, just because you think that you might be a beginner and you're not quite ready for the intermediate stuff yet. We are in the chess basics section of the website, so really all of these things should be covered, and you can knock them out. It really should only take about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to knock everything out and to truly understand everything. So the intermediate things, it's board setup. That's kind of a beginner thing. So I mean, it's not really a true intermediate, so you don't have to feel like it's daunting or anything. And then it finishes with a few special rules that are very important to learn as well. After you make it through the intermediate stuff, it'll talk to you about things like piece value and checking the king, how to set up checkmates eventually, but these are the foundations for setting up checkmates. And once you're through that, you can go back to the home page, or you can reach everything from everywhere on the site. It really is such a good user interface. But from the home page or from where we were at previously, you can go to the Learn tab again. And once you're ready for it, once you're ready for something a little bit more advanced, or if you're already past the basics of the rules, you can go to Practice, and that'll take you to this page. And this you will probably spend quite a little bit more time on. Some of these are not easy at all, like the knight and bishop mate. This takes some time. It takes some dedicated practice too. So it'll start you off with checkmates, some of them being very easy, and it does get fairly advanced. So I mean, it has a little bit for everyone. It really is quite nice. Basic tactics, so maneuvers that you can do to win your opponent's pieces. It's infinitely useful, and into the more advanced stuff. So this is another great thing for the more advanced player. And sorry, not the more advanced player, but if you're looking to become the more advanced player, this is necessary. And these are still kind of the basics. So, again, you don't have to feel daunted by it. I think anyone can jump into it and do really well. And just as an example, we'll start off at the very first one. The very first one gives you a position where both sides are equal, except you're up a rook, and Black's king is very vulnerable, so it starts you off just by showing you that, if you go here, attacking the king like that, the king can't go anywhere, that's a checkmate. And then it slowly adds more pieces to the board until it gets more and more complicated. And this is less pieces, but in a different pattern. And then the final one is quite a bit harder, and you're going to have to do an intermediate check first, and then sacrifice your queen, and then do your back rank checkmate. So it really walks you through these patterns in a really easy to understand way. Now, if you're done with that, or kind of working alongside that, and you want extra practice on these kinds of puzzles and maneuvers that will help you win your opponent's pieces, highlight the Learn tab again, and you can go on to the puzzles section of the website, and you'll get something like this. And it really is great. It functions similar to the rating system that you'll become accustomed to when you're playing chess games online. And the basic thesis of it is, if you win a game, your rating goes up. If you lose a game, your rating goes down. If you lose to someone with a low rating, it goes down much more. And if you beat someone with a low rating, it'll go up a little bit. If you beat someone with a high rating, it'll go up quite a lot. So the puzzles are rated very similarly. And you'll do a few puzzles and you'll get a puzzle rating. And if your rating is really high, you'll get hard puzzles. If it's low, they'll give you puzzles for your rating. So everything is carefully curated. It assesses you on the fly and curates the content that you need to see as a growing chess player. In addition to that, this part of the website, if you go to Learn and you go to Study, this is more of a very free-flowing part of the website. You can kind of just do whatever you want. And you can do whatever you want with a friend as well. So what this website is, and it's, the bare bones of it, or this section of the website, it is an online chessboard, just like this, that you can communicate with people on. They can make the moves, and you'll see the moves. You can draw things on the board, and they'll see the drawings. Now, I think this is a private study, so these 14 spectators aren't seeing what I'm doing, so they won't see any of the lines or circles or anything like that, but that's all in the settings, and you can certainly make it to where you can analyze a game with your friend. If you don't want to do that, if you don't have any friends, right, there's study plans, all different kinds of things for the growing chess player. It really is fantastic. And this one looks excellent. I might come back to this one. Everything's very easily labeled. It looks incredibly organized. It even has this little helper that lets you control exactly what you see in the study. This is really well done, actually. So some of these you're going to see people put a lot of work into these studies, and you can go through and you click on tactic 1, what would you play in this position, and you got to figure out exactly what you would play. This is fantastic. I'm really impressed by this. You can tell I haven't delved too far into some of the random studies, but what you can also do, and what I do, is you can make your own studies. You can click this button and it'll ask you to create a study, and you can set the parameters of the study. You can set up the position. You can pull positions from books. It really is just a fantastic tool. Now, taking a different sort of look over here, over at chess.com, chess.com has everything that Lichess has and a little bit more. Now, that comes with a caveat. The little bit more, you'll typically have to pay for. Um, but it is the as far as like the study feature, it is quite a bit more organized than you might see on Lichess. On Lichess, if you want to find something to study, you kind of have to know what you're looking for. Like study plan for 2100 to 2250. Well, what does that mean? How do you know if you're a 2100 or a 2250? Um, you don't necessarily know. And same thing down here, tactical training. That's a wide range actually, 1200 to 2500. But you don't exactly know what your rating is if you're just jumping into this thing. So for the beginner, it might be beneficial to start with chess.com, and by the nature of the domain name, it has a lot more players, and it has a lot more players of a wider variety of skill. So it is a lot easier on chess.com to find someone of your skill level and to be able to play them. And chess.com works the same way that Lichess does when you're searching for games. If you're losing your first few games, it'll bring your rating down and it'll match you with someone closer to what your skill level is. So there really is no reason to be at all intimidated by it. It's both sites have done an excellent job in this really cool age where we can play chess online and learn chess online. I mean, this is all very recent, but chess really is the perfect game for tools like this. So one thing that chess.com has that I think is 100% worth every penny, and I think it's also in their learn section, and that's going to be the lessons that they have. Uh, Similar to Lichess, I mean, Lichess has these things for free, but if you are looking to, sort of just sit down and just have everything thrown at you, where you don't really have to go and look for it, uh, you can pay. I mean, I think it's a very small monthly or yearly fee, and you can go through, and it says from beginner to winner, but you can go through how to move the pieces, playing the game, to some very advanced chess concepts. And I didn't scroll very far, so it makes it look like there's not very many topics. There's a lot. I've worked through quite a bit of these lessons, and it's very impressive. And this says 1%. Not on this profile. I haven't worked through these lessons, but they're really well done. Now, shifting back to Lichess just for a moment, I did want to show you exactly what you will see when you get to the website. It'll look something like this, and it'll be really, really bright white. And that might be, maybe you're okay with that. Maybe that's fine. But for some people, it's a little hard on the eyes. It's very simple to fix this. You can just click the gear here, go to background, and change it to dark. You can also change it to transparent and upload your own picture that you can have for your background. We'll keep it to dark for this, and then we'll go back and then click on, what is it, board geometry? No, but you can do 3D pieces as well. We want board theme, and we're going to go with the pretty blue marble theme. Creating a game on Lichess or chess.com is also very simple. On Lichess, you can click on the quick pairing, and then you can click a button, and any one of these buttons, and there you go. It'll throw you in a game, and it won't take more than 30 seconds. It's a very quick process. Now these numbers, if you're not familiar with the numbers, if you're just starting to learn how to play, the numbers are how much time you have for the entire game. Now that's not per move, but for the entire game. So 1 plus 0, it's not an hour, that's a minute for every single one of your moves, and it's aptly named bullet. So you wouldn't start there as a beginner. You would absolutely want to start. And good players play both speed chess and slow chess. So it's not that better players play fast chess, but for the learning player, the beginning player, you absolutely want to start with slower time controls. I would recommend 30 plus 20, which is going to get you 30 minutes for the whole game. Every move it adds 20 seconds. And I would go all the way down to maybe even 15 minutes with a 10-second increment. I would not go any lower than that. And you want to give yourself plenty of time just to be able to look at the whole board, every move, and make sure that you're not, giving your opponent any of your pieces. It is incredibly important. So you can click one of these buttons, or you can go to the lobby, and people have made games already, and they're just sitting around waiting to play. Um, if you don't want to do that, you can click one of these buttons on the side, and let's do that now. You can click create a game, and if you click, whether you click create a game, play with a friend, or I didn't click on that, did I? No. Or play with the computer, you're going to see a very similar window pop up. You can just click out of it. It's all very easy to navigate, which is nice. But let's create a game, and we'll just play an example game, and we'll talk about it. There's different kinds of chess that you can play. We're just going to play standard. We want real time correspondence. This is like the chess by mail kind of, where you can play very long games, and you just kind of play your move when you have time to play your move. So we want real time, and let's turn it down with 3 minutes and 2-second increment, and then you can choose what color you want. We'll play white. I believe that if you have an account and you're playing a game with a rating, I don't think you can pick what color you want. I would hope not, but we're going to give this a whirl. And so we're opening up with our pawn to e4 to control the center of the board, and we developed our knight here so that we can get both center pawns into the center. It's very important to control the center of the board. Now, you might try this where you don't have an account, and maybe you want to get on the website and see how it is before you make an account, and that's totally fine, and we're just going to develop a knight and guard our pawn. And you can play an anonymous player. Now, the thing with playing anonymous players, like we're kind of experiencing right now, they could be total beginners, or they could be very, very strong players, and there's really no way for you to know that. So don't get discouraged if you play an anonymous player and they end up, beating you pretty badly. There's a lot of really good anonymous players. My opponent really knows what he's doing. So right now we're just trying to get all of our pieces out and get our king safe and castled. So castled off to the side of the board. We want our king out of the center. And I castled to that side because I figured my opponent would castle to this side. It's quicker for him to do that. So now we want to attack from this side. But this is not going to be easy. Like I said, the anonymous players, they can be extremely strong. And this is a good move. My opponent really is doing quite a darn good job. I believe the correct move is to move my knight. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is quite something. So, yeah, our opponent's pretty much playing all of the correct and all of the perfect moves. So you will get this. So maybe, just play 1 or 2 games as anonymous, and then you're really going to want to go and make your account so that you can find someone, and it's not just one person, but so that you can find people around your rating level. And we're going to take with our bishop so that we're protecting our pawn. Yeah, he's just doing a really darn good job. Let's see. So we want to, this piece is not so good. We want to try to improve this. So we'll come here, and they might consider moving their knight here to throw a punch at our queen. Let's see. Or they might just leave it there. Leaving it there would be fine too. Yeah, they really are doing just a good job at protecting everything. And not only protecting everything, you'll notice that all of my opponent's pieces are, if they're not developed, they can be developed pretty quickly. So if you are just learning how to play, it's very important to not make too many pawn moves. Unless you have a really good reason to make a pawn move, you should really probably hold off on it. Like this is a good reason. That's going to be really annoying. Let's capture this so that we have a square for our knight to run away to. Yeah, and then we'll come here and and I've made a mistake. He can take that piece. Yeah, so this is no good. We are moving a little bit too fast, as evidenced by being up a minute. Oh, he didn't take it. I'm not sure if it would have been great, but we can look at it in the analysis board afterwards. I thought he could have taken that and then taken here and won my queen. But I did have my knight threatening that, so it might not have been the best. I do still think. Wait. No, I did have that covered. Okay, so we'll look at that in the analysis board. Okay, so what's the plan here? Man, this is not easy. Okay, we're gonna play a little. We're gonna play a good move, but we're gonna play a little trap for our opponent. We're gonna play. Oh, and this won't even be much of a trap. We're gonna play king b1, and our idea is bishop takes here, and we want to play knight here, and then after queen takes, instead of taking the queen back, we're gonna take this with check. And in most scenarios, we can just win a piece outright. But they do have king f7, and then after I take the queen, they will just take our knight back. So it won't be an enormous victory for us. But I'm not really sure what our opponent's done here. I don't know if I'm super convinced about that move. Let's capture here, and we'll take here. And it looks like our opponent left the game. Yeah, I think we have a pretty good position here. I don't think that we're winning or anything, but okay. So for the sake of the video, we're gonna claim victory so that we can take a look at this. And when you click on the analysis board, yeah, it looks like we do have a pretty good advantage. A positive number is good for white, and a negative number is good for black. So you can go through and it'll take some time to be able to learn exactly what the computer is saying, but the arrows are helpful, and the arrows will tell you exactly what the computer's thinking. The bigger arrows mean that the computer thinks it's a slightly better move. So right now, this e6 move is the biggest arrow. The computer likes e6, but surely all of these moves are perfectly acceptable as well. And what I do want to show you guys is if we go and click here to request the computer analysis, it'll say that we need an account to do that. So let's cancel, and let's go and sign into our account. And we have to put in our code for the extra security. And let's see, that's going to be this. And this is maybe one of the neatest things ever because, you know, just 20 years ago, if you had, you know, if you wanted to analyze something chess related, you know, you wanted to have a computer look at your game, you know, you had to go out and buy a separate program to do this. And if you know, 30 years ago, this was totally unheard of. Just all of this was totally unheard of. But now it's all integrated into the website, and it'll tell you exactly what you've done, exactly what mistakes you've made, how you've played, and the computer's picky. It'll pick on you. So you have to be prepared for the constructive criticism from the computer. But the computers nowadays are incredibly strong, and Lichess has one of the strongest available, and so does chess.com. Chess.com has a very similar feature. So after you do this, you'll see a basic idea of the graph, and as we can see, our opponent was playing really, really well. I mean, this is, you know, 2 inaccuracies and 1 mistake out of, what did we played 21 moves? I mean, this is really, really good. And then if you want, you can click this button and learn from your mistakes. And it says no mistakes, but we did have this 1 inaccuracy. So if you wanted to find that out, you can click the inaccuracy. And it looks like our inaccuracy. Can I cancel this? Skip this, because I'm not able to see. What if I just reload the page? Okay, there we go. I wanted to see the top 4 moves here. So it looks like our inaccuracy was when we played knight d4, knight c7, no, it wasn't that. It was this move, knight e to d4. So what could we have done better? Instead of knight e to d4, our arrows, well, the biggest arrow is saying that the pawn to h4 was probably the best move. Also, knight to g3 looked pretty good. But this makes sense, and I was a little bit worried about this. After knight to d4, I was a little bit worried about this on a future move. After we took and then knight d4, it would have been really nice if we had played h4, but we missed this. We missed this move, and our opponent missed it as well, fortunately. But the idea is if we take back, we're not going to be very happy with the result, and we're going to lose our queen because we can't move it out of the way. It would put our king in check. So instead it wanted us to play knight takes e6, and then, well, if they move their queen, then we're going to happily take the rook, but they should. This is complicated, so if you're not following, you know, don't. I wasn't following either. I didn't see this at all during the game. And then we get a complicated position where both sides trade queens in a very roundabout way, but white is still slightly better. So we could have done a little bit better than we did in the game, but all in all, it did turn out quite well. So what I'll do is the plan is to make this into a series, and I want to slowly bring everyone uh, up to being a little bit better at chess. So I'll try to put out videos for people of various skill levels, and we'll see if we can replicate what we had going with the chess club as best as we possibly can over this new medium that's been thrust upon us. But it's not so new. I mean, this chess like this has been around for quite a while, and they've come very close to perfecting it. I mean, these are really excellent tools. So what I will do is I will put my Lichess username, my chess.com username, and my email in the description of this video. And if you have any chess questions, any at all, please send me a message on one of those addresses. I'd be happy to answer any chess questions that you guys have. It'll be very much like we were still meeting each other together at a chess club. If you would also like to play me in a game, same thing. Feel free to send me a message. And even though we might not be able to schedule each other to be able to play at the same time, I feel like we might be able to do that. But even if we can't, there's always correspondence games that are possible. And these games they take a little bit longer, but it gives you the flexibility to make your move on your when you're able to make your move. So I have 12 hours left to make this move, so we're still thinking about that one. But we can move, really whenever we want, as long as it's within that 12-hour time limit, and then it resets on the next move. So it really is perfect. You can get a notification on your phone, and it'll tell you when you have moves to make. So it's a really nice, flexible way to play chess. So I'll leave those in the description. And other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I tried to keep it as short as possible, but I hope everyone got something out of it. Thanks, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.